the interest of full disclosure, this episode is about control. And unfortunately, we lose a little bit of control in the episode. We lose Rebecca's mic about 17, 18 minutes into the podcast. She's only in the background anyway for this episode, so you'll still hear all of the banter from myself and Colm, but we just wanted to make that disclosure to you and just prove that life doesn't always go the way you plan. Enjoy this week's episode. Not so, Christian brothers.
So we have a Chris Evans connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you met him.
Well, I did. I was trying to be his best friend.
Yeah, okay.
I'm working on it. It's
Right.
probably a longer game than I thought.
Okay, the long game. The long game, Chris Evans' friends game. But do you remember you heard me on his show
Yeah.
when you were driving to work in Southampton, wasn't it, years ago?
Yeah. That was probably like 2003, maybe?
About then, yeah. And he was over doing TGIF for in the Rock Garden or wherever that place was. Yeah, the Rock Garden. So he came into our studios and did his show. And he asked me in on his show. And then he came in on the Strawberry Alarm Clock. And we asked him, would he give away something? And he gave away on air one of his shoes. And a listener won his left shoe. And we had to package it and send it to the listener.
Well, I can tell you, I was amazed at the level of celebrity that he has in the UK.
Oh, God,
We were at CarFest, and there was probably, I don't know, 100,000 people or something at this. Like, it's
big now?
massive. Like, it's an unbelievable
Yeah,
festival.
yeah.
Like, I was there for 4 days, and I was still finding parts to it. But when Chris goes out and he walks amongst the people, it's just unbelievable to see how they see him. Now, I think he's incredible. And I think what's really interesting about Chris is that you have this guy who, you know, I grew up with and you knew in your own era.
Yeah.
But he's now, I think he might be vegan. He doesn't drink. He's focused on his health and his well-being. And it's such a contrast to Chris.
To what he was,
of the 90s and 2000s.
Did you ever read his books?
Yeah.
Now,
Books were brilliant.
whilst you name drop
Sorry, yes.
your way through the show, I
Yeah.
thought
Hi,
it might
Chris.
be good that we started the show.
Hi.
Is that okay? Yay! It's another episode. But
Can we put a challenge and say that before Christmas we should have Chris Evans on the couch?
Okay, listen to me. Let's
Sorry.
do that.
Sorry.
But also the irony. Can we just call him?
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
have a moment here? Justin hates talking about celebrities. Yet Tom Brady was the guy last week. It's Chris Evans.
Yeah.
You are so funny. I love
I know.
catching you out.
And then I had a great time with Ryan Tuberty at CarFest.
Right,
as well.
sorry. Go on.
Right,
there
let's
you go.
start the show.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap in for the not-so-Christian brothers.
I just was amazed at how cool he was
He's
to
very
hang
cool.
out with. Like,
He's great crack.
And he's
to
smart.
fun
He's
with,
so
like
smart.
he's just such a super guy.
Yeah.
And we even had him eating vegan burgers, which he got really upset about.
Yeah, he would.
Are you bringing out a recipe book? What is this? Now, I got a
he eats
topic.
very little.
I've
What
got
have
a
we got,
topic.
Rebecca? What have we got?
I've been musing over this for a while. It's come into play in various aspects of my life recently, and I know for you too, Colm, and definitely
Yes.
for you, Justin, the unpredictability of life.
Wow.
How things just smack you in the face out of nowhere. How you're plodding along and you're like, God, everything's very mundane, and it changes on a dime. Have fun.
Now, I know on when we do the after show on Saturday, Rebecca, you're going to take to the couch and do your particular story, which is
Will I?
you've got to do it. You've got to do it. I mean, I think it's not it's harrowing, and it really does encapsulate everything about the unpredictability of life, because our unpredictabilities, it came from a text that Rebecca sent me.
But I think just to say,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
when we had this on our production call last night, and you were genuinely upset.
Yes.
And it was a moment for all of us.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, because it was the unpredictability that was outside of
Well, I
your
think we were
reach
just
completely.
texting about the show and having the chats
Yeah.
in the group, and I just said it, and then I walked away from my phone because I was actually like, I don't really want to talk about it. And actually,
Yeah.
Justin, who's an angel from Jesus, as we know, texted me later to say that was quite the thing, and I said, yeah, it was. I'm okay, I'm grand, but actually, it was quite the thing, and
Yeah.
we'll go there. But yeah,
We'll go there on Saturday.
go for
because-
it, have fun.
Because that text came in at the same time that Justin, you just texted me to say that you were taking Luca to hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, and at that moment in time, from upstairs, Anne called me, and the hospital had just rang her to say, you need to come into hospital now. So within 5 seconds, what happened to Rebecca, which we find out what happened. Your life just changed. Like, it's the unpredictability, and you can't get. So what happened? Well, you do yours, and I'll do mine.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, look, the funny thing was, Luca was away in Fiji for 2 months. He was volunteering for charity. It was a really kind of desperate kind of setup. I mean, like a beautiful setup, but very, very basic. And they had wild dogs. They had mosquitoes. They had bed bugs. They were all
on the menu, were they?
They were all on the menu. Yeah. In a stew with some rice. And
lovely.
they all got sick, right? So all these kids who were out there, all aged between 18 and 25, were all sick over the course of their time, and some of them had ended up in A&E and in hospital for days. But Luca decided not to tell us that because he thought, you worry. So then he was flying back through Fiji to LA. He passed out on the plane. He was really sick. He was throwing up in a bad way. So we got him to hunker down in LA for 7 or 8 hours and sleep, and then head on to New York, where he's meeting his friends. So he went there, then he seemed okay. Then a week later, he's like passing out again, throwing up, fever, then gets a rash on his body over the course of 3 days. So we bring him into A&E, and then his platelets are dropping, so that means you're bleeding internally. He had blood in his urine. I mean, at one stage, I was sitting there thinking, this is really bad. I mean, I thought we're going into intensive care. And then we got into the infectious disease in St. James's Hospital, and they still don't know what it is. We're still waiting for some outstanding tests, which is like a week or 10 days ago now. But he's bounced back, and he's healthy, and he's in good shape, and he's 18. And, look, you and I killed our bodies with alcohol at that stage.
No, pickled. Preserved, I would say. Yeah.
But he's healthier than I ever was at that age. So he's back.
So
it was scary though, yeah.
But isn't it that moment? So, like, we came back from so we'd come back from Cost, and Anne had to go into hospital because she was retaining fluid. And this is Anne is got stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So there's always complications, and then the fluid built up again. We're meant to be heading off soon, and I just sort of said, look, just give the hospital a buzz. And they rang back about 20 minutes later and said, you need to get in now to hospital. And we got her in, and then they had to drain the fluids off her again. But it's really serious if you don't, because the liver isn't functioning the way it should. So it's just shooting the fluids all around, which usually the liver would sort out. And it's funny, the fluids start building on the top of your arms first. That's where your body sends it first. And that's when Anne immediately knows, oh, hello, something's going on here. But anyway, grand, 5-6 days later, she was out of hospital. But it was that unpredictability that, of life that you're just... And I was looking at it because I wanted to prep for this particular episode. So
there's a first.
Yeah. So imagine prepping for unpredictability.
God,
it's an oxymoron.
You're just such a deep guy.
Yeah, so I went online and I said, how do I
prep?
How do you prepare for unpredictability?
ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT wouldn't answer, right? How do you prepare for unpredictability? And I just went through various, like, there's all these wonderful sayings and quotes, but none of them, because you can't. So what do you do? I mean, your Luca was...
Also, it's always the things that you're worried about that aren't the things.
Yeah. Because that's it. You could be worried about something else, but Luca, it happened that Luca completely, and Luca was so healthy that he got through it. With Anne, it was because it had happened before. She saw the signs pretty quick, but the unpredictability of it was happening again, and we didn't know. And the hospital said, get in right now. And I'm just thinking, in life, you're never ready, are you?
No, but I think
probably we're better
eventually
off.
you can find like some kind of. I think I have found like acceptance of the fact that the only predictability is unpredictability, right? So if you just go, well, I can't really plan for what's going to happen next. I think you can best manage your life as best you can, and then there's everything else that happens along the way.
That's it, isn't it? So you prepare yourself. You've got this great plan of what you're going to do, and you got your to-do list and whatever, and then something just comes in and just knocks it off. And I suppose it depends on the people, the personality of the person you are, how you're going to deal with that unpredictability. I'm sure it knocks people completely off the off the scale, are some people probably feed off unpredictability. Imagine you're a sports person. You must be dealing with unpredictability all the time, as in when you're in the sport, when you're in soccer, when you're in Gaelic, whether you're running. There's that unpredictability because you just don't know within an instant. Somebody's going to pass you, somebody's not. So they'd probably deal with it better. I think Roy Keane is great at unpredictability.
I think sports people do most definitely, and I'm lucky to spend time with some two extraordinary sports people who absolutely have to adapt all the time. So you can perfect what it is that you're trying to do, but in that moment, something else goes wrong in your body and you have to go into adaptation. I also think entrepreneurs deal with unpredictability because if you get into the outside lane and you know that the only predictability is unpredictability, if you are able to pivot quicker than everybody else, that is, to me, unquestionably the key to successful living. I don't mean that like in monetary terms. I think about it in terms of life because for me, I think there was a stage in my life where I just brought this kind of tacit acceptance of everything can change and nothing is certain. And when you like really let that kind of sit at the core, you're actually impervious.
Right.
But you have to kind of live it all the time and go, you know what? I don't give it. You know what happens next because we'll figure it out.
I feel like Justin's saying he's just numb to everything. That feels like you're just chilled.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like it's not numbed. I mean, like the reality of the scenario is that like when, like if I think about the worst thing that's happened to me, I don't think there's anything else that could ever beat that. So I think, all that ever happened is on equal terms. And like when Luca was in hospital last week, unquestionably, when we said, okay, we got to go, we looked at the rash, we got to bring him to hospital. There was a moment definitely that really stirred me up inside. And Beatrice kind of just grabbed me by the shoulders and she was like, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, we're bringing another child
right.
to hospital.
That's what I was thinking when you told me last week.
And that definitely stirred something in me. But then as we got into the car, I just thought, and I like, this is harrowing to say, but it's a reality. I thought, even if Luca was to die, we'll get through it because we've been through this before.
Dear God.
Yeah.
I know, but like I still had that thought. And I guarantee you, if I asked Beatrice the question, she'd probably say she had a similar thought that you've been here before and you go through it. So I always think, and sorry, to rewind that, the night before we ended up with all the problems with Joshua 12 years ago, we were sitting in a beautiful little cafe in Spain, having a nice drink. Luca was playing on the floor around us. He was 3 or 4 at the time.
Yeah.
And I said, isn't life just unbelievable right now? Like, really, everything is where it should be.
No, you did not.
I did. And then, boom, it stopped.
Unpredictability.
So I think the more you try and strive or hold on to wanting things to be a certain way, the more you'll be disappointed. If you're open to just ride the crest of unpredictability and go, whatever happens, I'm going to ride the wave.
Excuse me. Just to bring it down, I was only thinking I was there. Just to bring it up, or bring it somewhere, or make it unpredictable. Live radio is very, very unpredictable, and that's the beauty of it. So you don't as much take live calls, and a lot of radio shows now have a delay on it, and you have to have a delay in live callers just in case they say something like, Jerry Adams is a Nazi. I don't think he is, Jojo. So you have to have, delay. But in the early days, for insurance reasons. But in this show like I would do, you wouldn't have delay. And the unpredictability of doing stuff was brilliant till you really fall into it. So we had a character called Dangerous Dave on our radio show. And we would go live to the street, and Dangerous Dave would run into a house and bang at the door, all live, and he'd run in. And if you were listening to our breakfast show, you won a prize. And this particular time, the prize was a huge box of chocolates because it was Valentine's Day. And I go, Dave, right, this is all live. Go, banging at the door. It's real sort of frantic stuff. Opens the door, there's a woman there. And he goes, I have to get into your kitchen. And she goes, what's going on? And he runs into the kitchen. And he turns up the radio and you hear the... And then you go, hey, you're listening to the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Well done. There's a box of chocolates. And then he immediately puts the phone to her. And I go, what's your name? She goes, Bernie. I went, fantastic, Bernie. Chocolates for you and your partner. She went... My husband died 3 days ago. Oh. No. So what did I do?
Colm.
Well, more for you then.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And everyone in the studio went,
my God, Colm.
what have you just...
Colm.
Yeah, that was it. Just gone.
Was that when the delay was created in the radio industry?
Delay was created because of
Is
an
that when
incident
you
in
were
Dublin.
all fair for a few years? Remember there was the
No,
band?
that was different. That's because we tried to drown a puppy. No,
Can't believe.
it was just that moment of, and you're live and you're going. Of course, everyone else in the studio was going, "Oh my god!"
But to be fair, Ryan Tuberty's had those in Late where they give the prizes out and the person's like, I don't really want that much. Like, there's all of that on live TV.
Yeah, do you remember Pat Kenny ripping up the tickets to the toy show and all that sort of stuff? But geez, I got a terrible cough at the moment.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. Thank you very much for the concern.
That's all right.
Really, nurse.
Can we get you something? An assistant?
And you would have, Rebecca would have done it as well on live television. And you see it all. I mean, some of the best bloopers you see are stuff that happens live on television, or news bulletins or stuff like that.
Sorry, I had a phone call with my mother live on my News Talk news bulletin because I thought my fader was down. A chat with my mother, who's just in hospital, was recovering from being sick, and I'd pulled my bulletin finished. It was 10 p.m. at night, and thank God, very few. But I just remember a text from Jason going, "Pull your thing down now. You can hear you saying more." I mean, all right.
I remember being in I was in London. I was, I don't know, early, maybe 20 or 21, and we had a guy who I won't name, who was a very charismatic character who worked for us, and he was engaged in an extramarital affair, and he was up in our boardroom. And, we had those old clunky phones from back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
That were like nasty plastic that never really sit properly. And he was talking to his wife, and she was on that phone, and he hung up the phone, and then his mistress was on his mobile phone, and he conducted a 20-minute conversation with his wife still listening.
There you go.
And then the wife came in to the office going absolutely berserk. So that's a certain unpredictability.
And
but I
they
think
did really well. It was a lovely day, and they went for dinner.
Well, okay, maybe in business you'd be prepared for it. I suppose everybody does get prepared for unpredictability. Like
I don't think they do, though. I think most people are. I think a lot of people are trying to hold on to the relationship that they want their kids to be a certain way.
But nobody believes it's all perfect, and
I
nobody
don't
believes
believe
it's all
that
happy.
they do, but I think we're fooled into believing that we have some control, and there's the pain.
Yeah.
I think that's the pain.
No,
think
but we
have
do
control.
have some control.
I totally agree.
No, we do.
all
No, okay.
think we're
Look,
running
listen,
around
every
show.
day we have control.
We don't.
No, at this moment in
We
time,
don't.
and you have control over there. You have control over the
don't.
microphone there. We have control when you get behind the car. You've control.
But
Now,
we
the guy who hits you may have lost control, but you have control. We do have
We
certain
don't. I could
control.
look down at a phone that texts on the seat beside me, thinking it's just a minor little. I'm gone.
No, but that's
I could have a
you've
heart
lost. No,
attack,
but
like-
what you've done there is lost control.
No, but there is. I have no actual
but
control.
there's no control. The world is spinning around you. Like it's,
I understand that.
what
but
could ever happen can
but
happen.
with your feet on the ground, you have a certain level of control. Like I'm a control freak, right? So when I'm in studio, I have control of the studio while the studio is working.
Not when I'm in there.
Or if I'm at home, Anne gets really annoyed because I don't allow her to use the remote control because I have to have her right beside me. I know it's weird. And there's, but I mean, if you're sitting making a dinner and you're putting stuff in, there are levels of control.
But that's what I mean in terms of where the pain is, right? So if you see the insights, the more control that you try to have, the more your expectation rises. So I think that
Not with my
brings
remote
you to
control.
a point of what?
Not with my remote control.
Well, yours is talking to China. But I think it's look, we're not going to agree on this point, unsurprisingly, but I personally do believe that the more control you seek, the less control you have.
See, I disagree in that respect. That you're saying the more control you seek. I don't seek control, but if there's something I have to do,
You just said you want to be in
I
control in the
take
studio.
control of it.
You
Yeah,
don't let the remote control.
No, I
I
take control. I don't seek it. It's there to be taken. As in, there's lots of stuff I would like to seek and take control of, which I have no control of.
Don't put your hand up and say "See."
Which is it's like Doctor Strangelove, isn't it? Yeah. I know we're arguing on minutiae, but yeah, but I think you can to certain things, but the bigger picture, no, that just flows and goes on.
No, you
like a
can't. You're
river
wrong.
through.
Next point.
What a shock that you don't agree.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous. gorgeous. I've actually so much.
Oh, look, Rebecca's taking control.
Okay, so many people are engaging at the moment. We've even more people that are getting involved on Instagram, on Not So Christian Brothers, the Instagram page, and kind of sending us DMs. And some are, naughty, nice. Some are just kind of saying, loving what you guys are doing, which is really, really good that people are interacting, engaging. Yeah, and I'm loving that. And the fact that they can see us now, I think is going to be so nice because then they get to know you guys and put faces to it all. But I have a DM if you guys are ready. And this pertains to, I think we all have a person in our family or friend group that's a bit like this. And I don't think there's any malice, or I don't think there is, but maybe this is up to you guys to kind of unpack. But anyway, Brian has messaged, "Hi, guys. I have a friend in our group who I've known for 25 years and who I really like and enjoy his company, but I have a problem. Maybe you can help me. My wife thinks I should just move on and ditch him or say something, and she doesn't feel it's a huge deal, but I actually do think it's a huge deal. He doesn't take his wallet out or open his pocket for anything when we're in a bar, for any main orders, for any trips. He's not good at gifts if someone has a baby in the group. He's not generous of spirit at all. And he still owes a friend of mine, Mark, 1,500 quid from a trip from last year. It's such a pity because it means that we talk about him in a negative way and it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Is it scabbiness? Is it someone who's frugal? Is it someone who doesn't even notice they're doing it? Is it someone who's actually going through financial troubles? We didn't find out from that message if your man has an amazing job or he's financially or he's well heeled. And I don't know if that matters. I think it's just not a great trait to discuss.
God, I'm immediately thinking of two people, right? And it was somebody I worked with obviously I'm not going to mention, but years and years ago in one of the radio stations, and he was quite high up in management. And you would go out for lunch, and you'd have lunch. I won't even do an impression of him because they'll guess. You'd have lunch. This must happen 5 times, I'd say, and then all ready to split lunch, and he always go, oh, the old wallet back in the office thing again. Every single time, so people stopped going out.
It's funny because Lisa Kennedy, Clint Reberg, myself, and you go out for meals, and we would call you that person.
I don't think so. Probably the most generous at the table, but
it's funny. I always think that too. You're right. Yeah, tight.
No, I wish I was tight because I'd have more money.
That's what tight people say.
I'd have more money.
That's what tight people say.
No, I wish.
I want to be in control of my tightness.
I'm not even going there because I find myself too generous even to myself. But there's another guy, right? There's another guy, and his first name is Stephen. He's not a family member, so anyone else. But we used to go out and it was sort of fishing, right? So there'd be 5 of us. We'd go out fishing once a week, and you'd go back and have a few pints afterwards. And every single time, just as it got to him, he went to the toilet. Every single time. Now, he spent enough time in the toilet that you had to just order another round. And he'd go, oh, I'll get you again. Till 1 week, we just decided, no, we're all waiting. And we waited till he came out.
Are you speaking about yourself in the third person here?
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm talking about a lad called Stephen.
Okay.
I'm not accepting the tightiness from any of you because unfortunately I don't even have a penny. I'm so generous.
I mean, your jeans are usually quite tight as well. Like it's a lot of tightness.
Pot kettle. You were told to cover your crotch because it was trying to escape.
Actually, Justin, because you secrete your phone, I know you have a burner or whatever there beside you.
A burner. That's not a burner. He's just glad to see you.
I'm bringing feminine energy here. You just ruin it with that nonsense. Seriously, do you have an answer for Brian?
For Brian,
oh, his name is Mark. Oh, you dropped it in it there, didn't you? Yeah.
I'm big into just call it out, right? I think the challenge in friendships and relationships and everything else is when we just don't talk about it, right? It kind of builds up and eventually you end up calling that friend out. Festers. So I think the best thing to do is just to say, hey, listen, you can't be part of this group unless you play by the rules.
Ostracize them. I went away a couple of years ago to Lisbon with a whole bunch of mates, right? You know them, Kieran and Johnny Murphy. But he showed us this app, which was brilliant. And everybody puts their name into it, right? And you used to...
And it identifies who's the tightest. And it pointed to you.
No. I'm not accepting this. And everyone puts the bill in. So if I buy dinner, I put the bill in. And then if Liam buys dinner, he puts the bill in. If drinks, everyone just puts the bill in. And on the way home then, it computes to what's left that everyone owes. So you can't know it... No, but this is an actual app that does it. And you can put your photo in and everything. And it does it exactly as to what everyone knows at the end of the weekend. So nobody can be accused of being tight, Justin.
Yeah, well, whatever your friends have managed to achieve in order to keep, the relationship convivial, I think is the way forward. But I think, look, back to Brian. I think you got to just call it out, right? Mark. Well, pseudonym or real name? Brian, Mark, Brian.
Listen, there's load of Brians and load of Marks, so I think you're safe. Yeah, call them out.
I think you just got to call it out. I think tightness is just the worst thing. I mean, it's just awful. You want to be in a social environment. You want to feel pretty chilled. Look, I have friends who've been like that. I have people who are like that. But it's funny. I was having some acupuncture this morning. And I should acupuncture. I should post. I took a photograph with acupuncture needles in my head.
Active puncture. I go, wow, are all punctures not active? Imagine having an inactive puncture.
I was having an active puncture.
Right. Are you going to show us where? No, you put your phone away. Sorry.
On my face. On my face. And I took a photograph of it, so I'll share it on our social media. But I was having this conversation with my acupuncturist.
Okay.
As you do when you're in Greystones.
I know. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the whole idea of the people that you spend time with, right? Yeah. So I think when you have people in your life like Brian has, who has this kind of negative energy. Personally, I think you just got to cut them out of your life. I think you just got to be super protective of yourself and just be with people who are on your level. Screw the rest of them.
He says it's his best mate as well. I don't think you could go to that level of best mate if there's somebody like that, unless either both are generous, right, or both are tight. So can you imagine two best mates and both of them are tight? That'd
be you and Kieran then, right?
They go.
Get Kieran on to see if he's really tight as well.
I've got some great gags, but I'm just not using them now because you're just doing this.
I've got him live. Kieran's here.
Kieran's a Spurs supporter. Yeah, he's tight. But two guys or two girls that are completely tight. Like, what? You can't exist then, can you?
I also think one of the hard parts for men especially is that we have limited friend circles, right? I think for a lot of guys, there's not a huge friend circle, right? You know this. Like, you probably have like a gazillion of women that you know, Bex.
Yeah.
Whereas guys, we don't. So I think sometimes for men, there's a tendency to stay inside friendships longer than, say, women would be like, such and such is a total bitch. Take her off the WhatsApp list. Terry, if you can beat me on that F word. Take me off that WhatsApp list. Cut them out of our life. Whereas I think guys are like, they just tolerate them a bit more.
I don't think we care as much. I think they care more about all the qualities of their females care more about the quality of their friend. I know there's 5 or 6 guys, right? Or maybe 7 or 8 of us together, going for points. And we really don't. There's about 3 of us really get on. But we've just been together for so long that it's just...
So you're like fungus.
Okay, it's almost like... I think, girl...
Good old mushroom.
And I think it's because women have much more friends. I was listening to this thing about grief and the widowers and the widow. And women have more friends. So a widow will get on with life much better after the alpha kicks the bucket.
Do you look at the statistics of how quickly men die when they're widowed?
Yeah, that's it. Because apparently a man, 40 to 50% of his companionship is invested in his partner, the woman. But she only invests 20% back in, and she is 80%, which is with her girlfriends. And that's why widows survive much longer than widowers. This is frightening.
It is, but I also think for men, like I was having this conversation with my son yesterday. That
I don't know what to do with being tight.
I think we have to expand our friendship circle, right? And I think this is always really, really hard. Like I had such a great weekend at that festival, and I met loads of new friends.
Yeah.
Have I spoken about it? Did you see my laughter, Yoga?
Yeah.
But I think meeting new men, like if I meet new friends...
Here we go. The way you're sitting, buddy.
Generous men.
Yeah. Generous men. So give me their time and their money.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a very generous man who said he'd be very kind to me if I went home with him.
Yeah.
But I think when we meet new men, new women in our life, I actually would say to them, listen, it's great. I really feel like we've got a friendship. And people find it really disarming and creepy. But if you don't...
Did you spend the weekend popping in front of people's faces? I think we've connected. Can I be your friend?
I was actually going into their tent.
Now, if you meet my brother, he's very tight. He'll give you nothing.
Yeah, you won't like my brother. He's got no generosity. But I think saying to people, listen, it's great. I really feel like we've developed a friendship. I can't wait to stay in contact, right?
Oh. Oh, dear God.
Now even Terry's laughing at me, right?
Oh, okay. No. I want to know. Sorry, when you said that to the chap standing beside you at the urinal, what was his answer?
Well, he kind of ran out. Oh, yeah. I know.
So how many new friends did you make this weekend?
5. 5. And I brought 3 with me.
Actually, it's a great conversation, is that I don't think... 2 things. One, when I looked at the research about that widows survive longer than widowers, I think if I need to make new friends, they should be women.
Your friends are only women.
Well, I know I have a lot of women friends, yeah.
Do you tell me that you had a pizza with Juliana or something?
Juliana, yeah. No.
Can't cope with the competition.
It's because his male friends have realised he's tight.
No, they've heard the rumour. Are you going around to other men saying, can I be your friend?
You need to make sure you use this app when you're hanging out with Colm.
I do. I prefer the company of females. I think they're much less complicated. They're
that's so nice.
Yeah, they're much less complicated. They're easier to talk to, much easier, and they're this is going to sound crazy, but they are definitely less judgmental.
I think this is an evolution of you, because when you were in your laddie breakfast phase and all that, I think you probably were more laddie. Like, that must be with time, is it?
Jeez, I don't know. That's weird. See, I don't know.
Anyway, it's a wrap.
But I was going to say, like, the weird.
I can't wait for the after show.
The weird thing, and we've had this conversation before. I would say that 80% of my best friends are women as well.
There you go.
Like, my best friends are women.
Oh, I thought you meant 80% of your friends are women and the other 20% are men, like they're non-binary or trans. No,
Well,
you're not saying in one single person. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, Colm.
There's absolutely nothing. It's just the percentage is wrong. I'd much prefer 60-40.
Is it a competition?
Where? Who's got more male friends?
Men competing? Is it because you find men's company competitive, talking about business or success or money or penises?
No, not at all.
Men don't talk about penises.
Not at all. Yeah, men don't.
Men never talk.
I mean, when I ask people if they could be my friend, if my next question was, "How big is your penis?"
Yeah.
I don't think that would work.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that it's when you're talking to women, it's just an open conversation. Men can't talk. All we can talk about, like men who are listening to this right now, if you go out to the pub, you meet your friends, you're still talking about that great night you had when you were 18, or you're talking about last night's football match, which we can't talk about right now because Man United got beaten by League One Grimsby Town.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, is that it?
Oh, and please make sure if you have liked the chaos that was here, and most importantly, if you would like to be my friend, because I would like to be yours.
No.
Send me a DM.
Yeah.
But please subscribe, support the podcast, give us your messages, share it. If you want our advice, send a DM into us. We'd love to hear. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and now on video on YouTube and on Spotify.
Not so Christian Brothers. Thank you.